All right, everyone. This is Lance talking to you from our sofa amidst books and splendor and stuff. And beside me on the sofa is my co-host and co-pilot in life for over 30 years, Bonnie Ash.
Why are we here tonight?
We don't do that anymore. I explained in the last episode. Okay, this is nothing but worry. This is the name of the show. But I feel that we've reached a mutual informality after 100 episodes. So, anyway, you know what's cool about this episode? I have no artwork picked out for the video. So, who knows what it's going to be. All right, anyway, there's a couple things I specifically have in mind to talk about, to go over. But before we do that, let's talk to Bonnie because she's not feeling very well tonight.
Okay, hi. I'm not feeling well. He said it. There we go. Move on.
All right, you don't want to discuss it any further?
No.
All right, well, we got to bear with her. I'm sorry. All right, and she has to bear with us. All right, now, let's go over the events of the immediate past week. This
You had a bad week.
This was a
didn't you?
very, 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 very bad week for me at the place of employment. And I've got to say, 2 nights ago was one of the worst nights I've ever had in my years of activity.
He actually filed a grievance the very next day.
It was horrible. I had to work by myself, and I just about lost my mind. And I mean that.
You lost your temper.
Lost my temper just about every night this week. Well, just built the temper up, you know. But
The first hour that you were working alone, you had to unload four trucks.
4 trucks with a piece of broken equipment
Yeah.
that I had to repair myself using shit I scrounged out of the back of my car and around the building. Because it was just as good of a job as how it was repaired earlier.
And how did they repair it earlier?
They put there's a plate, like a big steel plate, on in between the steering column and the housing over the motor
Of the Palisade.
that keeps the wires flat up against the housing so they don't get snarled or whatever. Anyway, the bolts had come loose or they weren't adequate, I don't know, but they had reattached it with cable ties. Okay? And it took me a little bit to figure this out because the thing wouldn't go, the plate would fall down and prevent the thing from raising the forks up or steering properly. Anyway, I had to fix the damn thing. Plus, I had to do all this shit by myself. And look, I know, you know, it's an irritant and it's physical debilitation, but it's more than that. You folks have got to understand. You know me after 100 episodes. I'm a little bit mental. Okay? And I have to do serious cerebral calisthenics while I'm working in order to keep from going fucking crazy. Oh, by the way, I'm going to stop saying fucking.
Right.
That's okay. I'm tired of it. All right. It's like the word cool. Oh, it's cool. Oh, cool. I'm sick of
That's
it.
cool that you're going to give it fucking.
All right. So, anyway, I'm so relieved to get home this morning because I played guitar and just relaxed. And Bonnie and I ran some errands and we listened to music in the car and we had a good time.
We didn't finish talking about the week.
Well, what else happened in the week?
You guys were threatened
Well, okay.
by the asshole.
Not last night, but the night before was really bad. It was just me and this other guy, and just I think 1 or 2 clerks doing the operations of the machine, and maybe somebody else in the building, plus the supervisor. And we had all this extra Amazon mail come in, and also other extra shit come in, so it didn't all get done. And I don't stay overtime. I don't stay over. So I left. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I come back in and I find out that after I left, my supervisor, who, to be perfectly frank, may be not an ace, is doing the best she can. She's a nice person, but she got chewed out by the plant manager and the postmaster. Why didn't this get done? Okay, this is what I heard. Why didn't all this get done? You have people skipping work and you're not writing them up. Okay, first of all, write them up what? There's only a handful of people. On our best night, we have 4 people. On an average night, we have 3. And if you run the numbers, they are going to have days off. Some of them 2 off on the same night.
3 out of the 4 have documented medical problems or on FMLA.
Yeah.
1, I think, has back problems. We don't know what the other one is. We know what Lance's problems are. Well, Lance got a lot of problems. And the more he is overworked, the worse his medical problems get.
And I had to admit today, just a fundamental reality I had to just come face to face with and admit today. I am not healing at the same rate I used to, and I'm getting a multitude of physical aches and strains at the same time at a higher rate than I used to. In other words, I'm getting older. And I am getting more debilitated by that fact. It's, against my nature to admit such a thing, but...
When I was young, I got injured. And about 8 years ago, I started having problems with one side of one of my legs because of the injuries to my foot and to my knee. And it just gets worse. I mean, these things that I had 2 injuries to each of my wrist at some point, and my wrists are now extremely arthritic. My hands were overused, so I have permanent disfigurement with arthritis from it. And you think when you're young, you're invincible. And you do a lot of stupid stuff. And you maximize, you max out life, I used to say I was an adrenaline junkie because I just ran for the action. And everything's caught up with me now. I hate this getting old shit. It hurts.
Well, I'll tell you my standard reply to that over the course of the last couple of years. I actually like getting older, at least as far as mentally and my sense of standing within society or immediate community, immediate people I bump into. But yeah, the physical shit, I don't know. I really just don't know because I always try to take care of myself, even when I was fucked up.
Well, when you're young, you're brash, you're sassy, and you mouth off and stuff. For all of that, now, once I hit 50, a number of years ago, I just hit a point where I don't take shit from anybody.
I have evidence of this today.
Oh, today? What was today? Oh, the jackass who...
No, more than that.
What?
Okay, let me just say,
what?
We ran some errands today, and Bonnie drove, okay? She drove my car, which she hates. She finds it uncomfortable.
It's like
That's the main thing. The seat is uncomfortable. Anyway, she's driving. Now, she says I'm a bad driver, but I'm going to tell you something. I have never seen a more aggressive and hostile driver in my life. Bonnie has this just firm opinion that there are rules on the road. The courtesy rule, the courtesy of the road courtesy, that doesn't pay any,
No.
I'm going to give you an example. Yes, she's in the right. When the merging traffic from the off ramp or whatever the hell it is coming up the hill to merge with us, they're supposed to yield to us. But road courtesy says just sort of give them the
I couldn't get over. I was blocked
benefit of the doubt. Slow down,
in
right?
In front of me, I was blocked.
And this
in behind
asshole
me.
would not he was going to
I was
just
blocked
bull
in
his
for
way
Sunday.
in.
I was completely blocked in.
So
And this guy,
she
just-
laid on the horn.
I did.
And this went on and on and on. You know, and I'm like, oh God, she's gonna get us whipped, beat up on the side of the road.
On the perimeter, we go to the next part, and I get over because I can when somebody merges in, because I can. That's what you do, But I couldn't get over before, and this guy was about to sideswipe me. I had to hit the brakes hard.
It was a white Sonata, a relatively new one.
It was burgundy.
It was okay. There was different incidents, but one of them, when the guy was, you really got pissed at this one guy in the white Sonata.
Burgundy.
Okay. Burgundy Jeep, towing a bike.
Shut up.
White Sonata. Okay, now, I don't even know. I don't know what we're fucking talking about. Stop saying.
Stop saying fucking.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, so I've barely had any sleep, but I don't give a shit because I have had a shitty week. And let me put it to you this way, very bluntly. One of the reasons I quit drinking is because I like to have fun. Okay? So when I've had a shitty week like this, when the weekend comes here, I'm determined to have fun. If fun for me means painting, drawing, playing the guitar, and making this show. I have become addicted to doing the recording of this show. I love it. I love talking to Bonnie.
Yes, dear.
We've been together for 30 years.
Oh my God, 30 long fucking years.
All right, so anyway, I have a couple of things to go over. First of all, this is a little. Maybe I'll take a picture of this and use this as the picture for the video. All right, I have in front of me. I have an ongoing collection of little jars that I fill up with little bits and bobs that I find here and there that are visually intriguing to me or individual. And I put them in the jars. When they get filled up, you seal the top and then glue a little themed animal creature thing.
Open the top
No, that's my goal eventually. I'm gonna glue these shut eventually. But no, they're not glued now. But the little critter on top is glued. Now, there's a story behind this one. It's a little puppy dog or something, and I was given that by a friend of mine that I worked with at North Metro. She supervised occasionally on and off here and there, back and forth. She came up to me, and her name is Shanrika Fortune, and she came up to me with this little plastic dog thing, and she goes, "Here, Lance, I found her," and I thought immediately, Lance likes junk like this. And she said, "Isn't she sweet?" or something like that. And I was like, oh, see, because Rika was so nice to me. She was really, really nice to me. And I appreciated that because when I started working up there, it was such an emotional wrench for me. My son has inherited my aversion to change. And
hoarding tendencies.
Well, anyway, these glass jar collections are beautiful when you see them all together. Anyway, so I stopped basically.
Hobo folk or art, yes.
Well, you remember years ago. This has been, Jesus. I can honestly say 20 years ago now. We went to like one of these autumn yard sales. We went around on a Saturday when everybody has their yard sales, and part of the yard sale at this one place was you went in the house and I think we had to go down in the basement or something. But this old dude lived there or had lived there, and up on the wall, maybe it was for sale, maybe it wasn't. I can't remember. But it was one of these not really a printer's rack, but what I'm talking about. They had it mounted on the wall. And they had a sheet of plexiglass or something over the top of it because inside on the shelves were all these little knickknacks and stuff that the guy had collected. Like little toy this and that and buttons and spools and shit. And I thought it was beautiful. And I've done that kind of thing for years now.
We're all crows collecting bits and baubles for our nest. Oh.
It does. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It means a lot to me. If a tornado came and took this place into Matchwood, I would be heartbroken because we've got all this stuff that we've collected. And it's like, you're right, you said it before. It's like Andre Breton's apartment. All this self-defining fripperies, Not fripperies, but knickknacks.
I mean, I even have one of these native masks from Nepal over here.
Now, that's like made of metal. I mean, it looks like one of the masks, but where'd you get it?
Authentic. I don't remember where I got that. But this creature has a third eye. And there are actually teeth embedded in that thing. Real, honest to God's sake, human teeth.
I thought they were shells or something.
And there's shells also in the eyes. And then they cut out little bits and embedded it with other shells to make the irises.
Can you imagine?
The teeth in the mouth are actual teeth.
Can you imagine 1,000 years ago, you're living in Tibet, right? To have seashells imported in from that far away, that would have been a rare luxury. These are just rare items. We can't get. That's like
actually
1,000 miles from here.
Actually, that's one of the ways that we know about road and trade networks throughout history, is that we find things that are not native. And 10 from the Cornish coast ended up in the Mediterranean, for example. Here in the Americas, there was a road system that moved out in a radial pattern from the region of Mexico, extending down into South America and up into what's now modern America. And you have places like Clovis Point and such, where you've got these specific type of arrows that have certain marks.
Mm-hmm.
And we found caches of those 2,000-3,000 miles away from the origin point. We found obsidian things around. We found feathers and other things from Central America, up in the Americas, up in the U.S. We know that these trade routes existed.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Jeez, I can't remember. Oh, no, I know what I was going to say. It was just, all I was going to say was, I saw something about this just earlier today.
What?
Something about, I think we were watching that thing about,
The Metropolitan?
the Metropolitan has an exhibit of ancient American art. And it was something about, the woman said something about, this proves that there was an interconnected communications link or trade, an exchange of ideas link between further distances back then than we thought.
Yeah.
And, which is interesting.
Like jade being found in areas.
I thought jade was just Asian. I didn't know we had jade here in...
No, we have it here in
Is it a different quality or something?
That's the thing. Jade appears in different colors and tones, and certain types of minerals may cause flaws or differences in them. So there are definitely regional differences. But
Well-
think about, what was it, the blue coloring that came out of Afghanistan that went around the world to form the
Yeah.
basis for paint.
Yeah. All right. So,
Lapis lazuli, was that what it was?
yeah. I really like the old 70s silver and turquoise jewelry. That southwestern stuff.
Oh, Navajo squash blossoms.
Yeah, I love all that stuff. All right. We were in the car today, and we're talking about, I don't know how we got on the subject, but I had the guy who did one of my radiology surgeries, this old dude, Dr. Shaw. And the first time I went to see him, I had my hands on my knees, right? We're sitting in this room, and he touched my hand, and his hands were like very comforting and very soft, and it was just weird.
He's a very nice person. He came from somewhere on the Indian subcontinent. He still had a thick accent. His name was Narendra Shaw, and he was the doctor who was in charge of the radiation treatment when you first went through the 6 weeks of daily radiation.
So,
And
he was an older dude.
There was something about him that you just instinctively trusted.
Yeah, he's very...
You would hand him your baby and go, here, hold the child.
Okay,
Here.
so look, okay, I have a story about him, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I guess he came from a generation where being thrifty was demanded of you because of the exigencies of your circumstances back then.
It's also a third world.
All right, so he would come in to examine me every time, and he would darken the room. He wanted to check my eyes. So he had this, I don't know what the hell you call the device, where the thing has the light inside of it, so you can look through the magnifying thing at your eye, inside of your eyeball. All right, so it's battery powered, right? He would come in the room with the device in its original cardboard box, little cardboard box. And he also he kept the battery separate, okay, in another box. He came in every time and took the device out of the first box, then the batteries out of the second box, put them in the device, turned it on, checked it, and did my eyes. And then at the end, reversed the procedure. Keep the batteries separate, you'll save a couple of whatever the hell it is, electrons. All right, so now this is the fifth time this has happened at one of these appointments. He comes in, he puts the batteries in, and the thing won't work. The batteries are dead. He cannot believe it. He has to open a new box of batteries, package of batteries. The packaging is so old it's changed. It was cardboard, now it's plastic. And the look on his face of perplexedness and just, oh no, $250 down the drain. It was hilarious. He was such a nice dude. I'm sure he's been dead 15 years by now.
Yeah. We went to the same center for other treatment years later in 2017. And he'd gone, and most of the people, I think there was one person on staff that remembered him, that he had found at the place. You went there and got your single dose radiation.
Well, when I went to see him, I've had radiation treatment twice. The first one was really a big deal, and that was years ago at his place.
1998?
It was, if not, it was 99, because it was not long after I got hired at the post office. I've been on night shift the entire time I've been at the post office, except for I had a 7 month, I had 7 months of radiation treatment and then follow up.
6 weeks of radiation.
That was 7 months I was on tour too.
6 weeks of radiation treatment. You were on the tour for like 6 months or something.
That's what I was just about to say, if you'd let me say it. I was on day shift for 7 months because of radiation and follow-up. Anyway, so, but then the second thing of radiation was like the single dose, I think, like you said.
Yeah.
And that wasn't, but what, 5 years? No, it had to be, it was after the car wreck. I know that. Or no, it was right before, because the dude said, well, I guess they didn't tell you that having radiation this late in life a second time can cause tumors and blah, 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 or fall,
That's not correct.
Okay, well, what was the reason for the,
You had the surgery to remove the tumor, the meningioma, okay? And then you had the radiation single dose surgery at in order to get the last of it. Then you had your car accident because the radiation caused swelling, and the swelling caused a seizure. And that's what happened. And
Well,
you ended up going into the hospital at the beginning of COVID. You were there for like 3 to 5 days, and then out of work for 2 weeks.
it was 3 weeks. I know that because with the
It was a
surgery is 5
minimum.
weeks, and then if the car wreck, it was 3 weeks.
Well, you had to stay out a minimum of 2 weeks because of the COVID protocols once you'd returned from the hospital.
Yeah, well, my memories get all scrambled up anytime they get
Okay.
associated with a seizure.
All of this fucking documented.
Bonnie has. Do you think that my whole history with the seizures and the surgery has bonded us even more because you had to take care of me and handle things?
I've always had to handle things, Lance. Part of it has to do with the fact that your thing was, I'm going to work and you're going to take care of everything else. Didn't matter if I had a job, didn't matter if I took care of the kids, didn't matter if I had a sick relative. I got to do whatever else, okay?
In Japan, they call that a cockroach husband.
No comment. La cucaracha.
I wonder what the term. I need to look that up. What the Japanese word for it is.
I don't know.
David Levine did a savage play on that back in the 70s. He drew a picture.
About the cockroach husband?
Yes, he drew a picture of John Lennon, who's a Beatle, as a cockroach being led on a chain by Yoko Ono.
Fabulous.
It was fabulous.
Oh my God.
He's just there to make the money so she can.
You were asking if this all has bonded us. The kind of things we've gone through either break you or they bond you. And for a lot of people, they can't handle it. My bio mom was one of those that couldn't handle it. When her second husband, got cancer, it was so hard for her. And I lost any respect I had left for her at that point. I was disgusted by it because you and I were together, and you and I had kids, and we had dealt with you having some kind of issue, and then this happens to my mom, and she just, I can't handle it. The fact of the matter is she's so used to being the center of attention. Suddenly, other people were not paying attention to her. They were paying attention to him. And it drove her crazy. But as far as we're concerned, I think that it forced us to make some decisions. I remember being extremely protective of you after the 2017 surgery. That was massive. That was a massive surgery. You had nearly drowned in the bathtub from having a seizure. And then they went through and they found several inches of tumor right behind your eye. And after the surgery, you couldn't function. And you were up for every 5 seconds. And you were not yourself. You had a different personality. And I knew that as soon as you came around and got your memories back, you would be embarrassed by the way that you were acting. You were all, hey man, how you doing? Da, 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 da. You know, like certain people.
Really?
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh.
And it was...
How weird.
I was embarrassed for you because you're not that type of kiss.
I don't remember any of this. You never told me this before. And that was 7.5 years ago.
This is part of the whole thing about the night nurses they brought in, the part-timers they brought in.
I do remember.
I put them back in their place. I'm like, You're not going to be running your mouth. Just
I
get over
do
there and push something
remember
hall.
when you've mentioned something like this in the
And
past. I do.
there was the retarded guy that took you downstairs in the wheelchair.
Okay.
And you were all chatty with him. And I'm like, this is not my husband at all. He's my
Wow.
man. He
No,
doesn't
see, here's the
talk to
thing.
strangers.
When you've mentioned this in the past, I thought you were referring to. See, what I do remember is my memories, my consciousness returned like within that last day when we're getting ready to go home.
Oh.
They had this nurse come in to wait with me in the room, and I remember talking to her and being, friendly. And I remember the guy who wheeled me out, that dude, I remember going, I remember, like, this hospital looks so nice and something or other. He's like, well, we renovated it. I remember something like, I thought you were referring to that sort of chattiness.
You were not yourself.
Wow.
And I'm used to Lance the curmudgeon.
I must have been really doped up on painkillers or something.
No, you had swelling on the brain. And your normal personality had disappeared. Get that off that book. You put that on a cup thing. What is it called?
A cup thing.
Cup thing. Yeah, cup on the book.
Anyway, that was my big story to tell, and that was my
That was it.
that was my show and tell. This little glass jar I have in front of me. Hey, I got an idea. Where's my deal? I was telling Bonnie earlier, I'm getting sick of just having to have glasses with me at all times. All right. From what I can tell in here, there's a pull for a zipper. There's a pair of Barbie high heel shoes. It's key, ball. There's a bunch of junk in here.
You stole Barbie shoes?
I don't know where those came from.
You sure they aren't Reeds?
I think they are Reeds. I
She had
think.
so many Barbie dolls for the longest time.
Do you want to say what she used to do with her Barbies?
No. No. She's always been a strange little bird, but let's just say she had watched King Kong one too many times.
I think you're right. I think that's where she got that from.
Oh, I think it is. I think it is.
Oh my God, that is
'Cause
funny.
she started doing it shortly afterwards. I'm like, what are you doing, child? You're going to give her
Wow.
to King Kong.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
God.
She must have been really little. She must have been like
2 or 3.
I was gonna say more like 5. I think it
No.
happened close to when we moved in here.
No, she was doing that over the old one.
We've been in this house, let's just say 22 years. It's going to be 23. No, it's going to be 22. Anyway, whatever. So minus how old she was. She was 7 when we moved in here. That means Peter was 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to believe. What I was saying earlier about Peter and I both sharing an aversion to change or a fear of it or something.
No one really likes change.
Well, I guess it's different areas of change in one's life. Peter and I have a similarity. But when we moved in here, which this place was a palace compared to the roach-infested, leaky dump we were living in before, Tin Can. When we moved in here, Peter had his own room now, and anyway, and he goes, "I want to go back to my old room."
That didn't last long. We all appreciated the air conditioning. It was Halloween we moved in.
That's right.
And we turned on the air conditioning. It was still warm. Because, 22 years ago, you still had this little Indian summer kind of thing. And so, right at, November, you get some kind of little hot spurt or something. And now, I don't know if we're ever going to have the temperatures go down again. Our electric bill was what, $437?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about money. I don't like talking about money. I don't. I do like saying I have $5 and change. I have exactly $5.05 of change. Exactly $4.95 and change. I like that for some reason. But talking about what we owe, no. I don't want to know anything about it.
Yeah,
When
earlier.
we talked about this last week. What made me decide that I really, really wanted Bonnie in my life is when she said, "I think I can help you," because I certainly needed help, and she has been the organizer of all this financial shit for 30 years.
I remember having to exhaust what retirement funds I had in order to pay for your first surgery. You
Well,
dog.
let's see how many minutes we've been recording.
Well, earlier this week.
God, only 35. Jeez.
Earlier this week, my dad came over, and he'll come over once every 2 or 3 weeks while he's on his way into Athens. And he sat down and we went through the usual thing. People, politics, money, entertainment, etc. But he really harped on politics with regard to economics this week. He talked about how everybody's health insurance is going to go up significantly because of this stupid budget busting bill with all the tax breaks for the wealthy, because they have done away with certain provisions under the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. And so between that and the tariffs, we're all going to see significant increases. The average will be 15%, and certain people under Obamacare will see increases of 75% for their insurance. And he talked about how the groceries are going to keep going up, and we discussed the fact that the labor is not showing up to pick the crops because the immigrant workforce we have is being scared and terrorized by these assholes. But it's more than that, the climate change issues, and then the tariffs again. And then he told me something I didn't realize. He said that they eliminated some tax incentives for green energies. And that means that anything that would be developed and anything that is currently receiving tax rebates and incentives has been eliminated. And everybody thinks, Georgia Power got nuclear plants, powered plants, etc. The fact of the matter is we have a shit ton of solar farms here in Georgia. My dad's family down south has, I don't know how many on their properties. And so all of these things feed into the grid, and the grid is then shared among states. And so everybody's going to see utility increases.
Yeah.
He was just a harbinger of doom. And
See, I don't want to hear any doom. I don't want to talk about doom.
I know. I mean, we've got a new tax bill this year because of the land we acquired from your mom. Did you know that?
When did this go into effect?
Last year's is paid. The transfer of deed occurred this year. So last year's taxes are paid, and so in December we pay for this year. They had to send out somebody to do an appraisal on the properties.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw somebody outside, and I went and got Lance. I'm like, Lance, there's a stranger in the yard. And
God, that's been a while ago.
Yeah, I know. But
Okay.
I got the tax bill.
Hold on. Here.
All right, we're back.
Bonnie's holding the recorder now.
Oh, God.
New era in our show.
Yeah, usually he holds it because my hands give out and I lose grip. Yeah. So Lance, what's going on right now? Why'd you have to pause it?
Because I'm tripping the fuck. I'm sorry. I'm tripping out really bad.
What are you tripping on, man?
Gummies.
Legal gummies.
Oh, by the way, from
What?
now on, I want you to be the one that says the name of the show, because I don't want to say it anymore.
Nothing but worry.
That's right.
Because
Number
it's
102.
nothing but worry. Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling? Still achy?
Yeah. I'm barely holding my meds down at this point. I want to go and take a hot soak after this and slip into bed and sleep until 10.
What'd you say?
Sleep until 10 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Look,
What
have you
time is
had
it
your
now?
night pills? Where's the
Hold on.
pause button?
The red button.
Lance has gone to get his medicine. As usual, I have to nag him. Dear, did you get your medicine?
What now?
I'm just telling them that,
Oh, are you recording? Cool.
yeah, that,
I must have taken them because they're gone.
okay, well.
Yeah.
So, you're telling me that you took 2 gummies.
Mm-hmm.
Have you lost your ever-loving mind?
I don't know. I thought because I'd only had one earlier that I would have built up a tolerance and needed 2 this time.
You took 2 at the same time.
Yeah, I've done it before and they didn't do anything. This is the first time I've done that, though, since we started all
With
this.
this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell.
I know. I love you.
It-
For putting up with me.
Still don't know
shit,
why.
I ain't slopping on the floor, did I?
Lance, can you clean up, please? Ah, ladies and gentlemen, it's a fine example of why I don't like Lance when he's stoned out of his
I'm
gourd.
sorry. I didn't mean to get this stoned. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like Cheech and Chong
Am I
level.
acting goofy?
Up in smoke and really stupid. Hey man, are you driving? Oh, I thought you were driving.
Am I talking that poorly?
It's not great, and you're
Hey, let me ask you this.
antsy and
Am
what?
I even... Okay, compare this to when we started the program tonight.
Yeah, you're a lot more fucked up.
Oh, so they have witnessed me getting progressively...
You're really messed up
Odder.
right now to the point, like,
Do you want to call it quits?
yeah, I'm getting really frustrated with this
All
dude.
right, listen. I want to apologize to everybody. I'm sorry. Bye.
Bye.